Hello, good evening. I hope everyone's having an amazing evening. So I am live on Facebook and Instagram. So if you see me looking back and forth, that's why. I want to talk to my coaches today. So I'll give you guys a minute to warm up, to come in, to say, hey, let me know what you're eating for dinner. Or if you're like overseas, what you're eating for breakfast. I just had an amazing Cajun Alfredo meal that I made. I actually made it on Sunday and it was actually really, really good. So I'm excited about that. All right, so what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about shiny object syndrome as a coach. And the reason that I want to talk about this is because as a coach, especially in today's day and age when we're online, when we're scrolling online and we see everybody else's highlight reels and the things that they're doing, it is super tempting to compare yourself and your journey to what somebody else is doing. So you'll find yourself feeling like you need to take all of these classes or all of these trainings or sign up for this coach. And then on the flip side, you'll feel yourself starting to get super overwhelmed, right? You'll feel yourself starting to think about like, oh my gosh, what is it going to cost me to pay for this coach? What is it going to cost me to pay for this course, right? So one of the things that I like to say when I'm working with my clients that are getting ready to invest in something is I always like to ask them like, one, is it aligned with the outcome that you're trying to get to? And two, have you weighed out your options, right? Have you considered what it will look like if you invest in this? And on the flip side, have you considered what it would look like if you don't, right? I think a lot of times we weigh the cost of taking a leap or investing in something and we get like so overwhelmed with fear or like questioning things or all those emotions, right? Anxiety. But we don't weigh the cost of what it really feels like to stay the same a year from now or 5 years from now or 10 years from now. And this is why making an informed decision as a coach is super, super important. So with shiny object syndrome, if you've ever dealt with shiny object syndrome, if you have a kid that deals with shiny object syndrome, if you have a spouse that deals with shiny object syndrome, this is where everything that shines is grabbing your attention, right? You're like, oh, I want this, I want this. I know when I took my 7-year-old to go shopping around Christmas time, we were just like actually shopping for my niece's birthday. And I was like, tell me what kind of things you want for Christmas, just to get an idea. Now, mind you, I wasn't getting her anything. Christmas was 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later. But it's like, I'm not buying anything. I'm just trying to get it. And literally, if it was up to her, she wanted everything in that. She wanted everything in that aisle. So she's touching every single thing. I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this. And we do that even as adults. We want all the things. And the reason that it's important to call this out for what it is because we want the things because we think that these things are going to provide a solution for us. We think that these things are going to provide an answer for us, okay? And this is why it's important that you're making informed decisions about what it is that you're doing to take that next step, okay? So in order to make an informed decision, you first and foremost need to identify. So first and foremost, got a call. Shouldn't have gotten a call. Apologize about that. First and foremost, you need to identify your vision. What is your vision for your business? What is your vision for your success? What is your vision for your life? Okay. And what do you need to be able to see this vision all the way through? If you don't have a clear vision, you don't have clarity around your vision, you're going to have a congested vision, meaning you're going to be pulled in a bunch of different directions. You're going to be halfway, have your hand in this bucket over here, have your hand in this bucket over here. You're going to be extremely confused, okay? So have a clear vision. I know for me, when I was moving into my coaching space, one of the things that I really wanted to do is I wanted to expand my reach, right? I knew that I had a powerful message and things that I really wanted to share, but I didn't know how to get in front of the people that I felt like needed to hear it most. So I felt kind of all over the place as far as like just continuing to share the same message with the same people, but I wanted it to expand. I wanted it to go further. And so what I had to do is I had to work on my confidence to be able to go live. I had to work on my message so that when I went live, I had something to share. I had to work on what my vision was for my business so that I could be transparent and share these different pieces with the people that I was eventually going to reach. And so I had to know that vision. I had to know that thing that I wanted to accomplish in order to be able to move towards that thing that it was that I wanted to accomplish. Okay. So you got to have clarity around your vision. All right. The second thing is you got to get accountability or support, okay? If you have a vision, you can hold yourself to it, but let's be honest, sometimes when we have a vision or sometimes when we have things that we're trying to bring to fruition, we will push ourselves, but we're only going to push ourselves so far. Or somebody else will see something in us that we don't see and they'll push us beyond where we're comfortable. And this is why it is so important. I cannot tell you how important this is. I have an I have two amazing I will call them biz besties. So people that I process ideas with, people that I process fears with, people that I process things that I'm thinking of or inspiration or lack thereof with. And they will always push me further than I'm willing to go. Because I'll be like, well, I don't know if I really want to do that. I don't know if I want to offer that. I don't know if I can do, I will talk myself out of a decision and they will push me through it. Sometimes it's direct, right? Sometimes it's like, hey, you need to be doing this. Hey, didn't you tell me you were going to do this? And other times it's like, hey, how's that thing coming along that you told us about? Right? So sometimes that direct and indirect accountability can push you further than where you originally were set to go. This is why when I'm working with my clients, except for one-on-one, when I do any group coaching, I always have an accountability group, because when you are around people that are like-minded, when you are around people that are motivated, when you are around people that are not only pushing you, but wanting to push themselves, you're going to be more motivated to move in the direction of where you want to go. Okay. So having that accountability is so important. Step number 3. I always do this because I learned sign language in high school. So I always do this. I love it. Because people always ask me why I do 3 like that. But there's a little fun fact. Step number 3 is to be willing to say no to things that aren't an obvious yes. Okay. I know for me, when I first started my business, my biggest downfall was I was investing in anything and everything. I was scrolling social media to get inspiration. I was taking all the free trainings to get inspiration. But what ended up happening is I felt more overwhelmed. I would take 2, 3, 4 programs at the same time, and I was so overwhelmed. Now, let me preface that with, everyone should be investing in themselves. Like every coach, every effective coach should have a coach. So for me, investing wasn't a problem. It was more so that I kept trying to seek answers out of other people instead of understanding that I already had the answers within myself. And so understanding your vision is that foundation so that you're making informed decisions moving forward. All right, this is the answer that I have within myself. How can this program support me at pulling it out of me, aligning more with it, that sort of thing? So for me, what I needed to do is I needed to pull it back, and I needed to say, stop saying yes to every single thing. Now, this can be yes to commitments that you want to make. This can be yes to promises that you want to make. This can be yes to programs or offers or things like that that you're inspired or wanting to take that next step with. The point is, you cannot say yes to every single thing because you do not have the capacity to say yes to every single thing. In order to be most effective with bringing your vision to life, with staying laser focused on accomplishing and bringing that vision into life, you got to say yes to the things that are in direct alignment with it and no to the things that aren't that obvious yes. No to the things that aren't like, yeah, duh, like, of course that's what I want. And here's for me how I know the difference. And for everyone, it's very different. So I study human design. I'm certified in human design, love human design. It has changed my life in so many ways. I can't even put into words. But one major way that it's changed my life is with my decision making. Okay. We often try to make decisions by this one size fits all model. Like you'll hear people say, well, what's your gut telling you? But here's the truth. Not everyone has what's called a sacral authority. And a sacral authority is very much so, what is your gut telling you? Sometimes we have an ego authority, which is like, what is the selfish decision you can make that will bless other people based on that selfish decision? And then some people are like emotional authority, right? How can you ride your emotional wave and get to that point of emotional clarity to make an informed decision? Now, let me give you an example of an ego authority, because I think a lot of times people are like, that I don't want to make selfish decisions. That feels wrong. Especially we as women can feel like we've done something wrong if we've been selfish. But I have a good friend of mine who recently just left her 9-to-5. Was that a selfish decision? Probably. Many people would say, no, it seems kind of selfish. A 9-to-5 might have needed you. But she left her 9-to-5 to be able to build her business. And so how many people is she going to be able to bless by growing and expanding her brand, by growing and expanding her reach, right? It may have seemed like a selfish decision, but really what it was a aligned decision that actually serves and gives back to the entire collective. Emotional wave, for me, that's me. I'll be on these really, really high emotions, and I'll feel like on top of the world and I'm ready to make a decision. I'll be really, really low and I'm like, I don't trust myself. I don't want to make any decisions. So for me, I need to ride that wave and come to that point of emotional clarity. And then I get to make an informed decision. The reason it's important to understand how you make decisions is so that you can align and say yes to the things that light you up and no to the things that don't align with your vision. We are far too often saying yes to things that aren't in alignment with our vision. And then we wonder why our path is cluttered, why our mind is cluttered, why our results don't line up with where we want to be. I posted earlier, I think it was yesterday or the day before, but I posted, your decisions today determine your destination tomorrow. We can't think that our decisions are like passive things. Even those small little tiny baby decisions determine the outcome that we get in the future. So we have to make aligned decisions. If you have any questions about human design and alignment, feel free to DM me, because that was not the tangent I meant to go on. But I felt like it was super important to be able to express that, to be able to share that, to be able to go in depth with that. All right, step number 4. All right, is to stop comparing yourself to other people. This is one of the ways you can avoid shiny object syndrome. We often have shiny object syndrome because we're like, oh, so-and-so went to Vegas. I want to go to Vegas. Oh, so-and-so got that cute shirt. I want to get that shirt. Oh, she just got a Chanel bag. I want a Chanel bag. And we're comparing ourselves to everyone else. But here's the reality. Your journey is made just for you. And what I see far too often with my clients is that they're not only just comparing like things, right, to other people, they're also comparing successes to other people. So, oh man, I feel like I'm going to use me as an example. For me, I had all of the answers, right? In the sense that or all the outcomes that people would desire. I had a doctorate degree and a husband and children and a job and all these things, but I felt really unfulfilled. And so I kept comparing myself to other people that would stay in this job for 40 years. Oh man, how do they stay there for 35 years, 30 years, 40 years, and then retire? And I kept feeling like something was wrong with me. But the reality is God gave me a vision for a purpose. God gave me a vision for a reason. And my vision isn't meant to be understood by other people. My vision is a conversation between me and God. And I'm supposed to move on that vision, not try to rationalize it, not try to, oh, maybe this, and this, not try to compare it, but really staying focused on my lane and my lane only, and my vision only, okay? So it's so important that on this journey to being an aspiring coach or established coach that not only has a great impact, but also a great income, you got to make sure you're not comparing your journey to other people. Because the moment you compare is the moment you're going to feel unfulfilled. Is the moment that you're going to question if your journey's right or wrong. Is the moment you're going to question if you're moving in the right direction or if you're making a mistake. So do not compare your journey to other people, okay? Now, I had some notes here. That is what I basically had for you today. I want to make sure I didn't miss anything. I think I got it all. But the point is, we cannot try to have our attention pulled in a bunch of different directions. We have to stay laser focused on what we want. In order to do that, you got to identify your vision, which is so important, and be solidified in that vision. Like, know that vision, be unapologetic about it, and confidently go after it. 1. 2, get that accountability. Get that accountability and support that's going to hold you accountable to following through with your vision, to staying on track, to staying focused, and to bringing that vision into fruition. 3, understand your decision-making strategy so that whatever isn't an obvious yes is a no, and that you're okay with it and you trust yourself enough to make informed decisions as it relates to your business, as it relates to your coaching, as it relates to your overall success. 4, I think it was 5. Stop comparing your journey, your vision, your dreams, your outcome to other people, right? Your vision, your dream, your journey, your desires, all of those things are there for you in a reason. I always say what's desired by you is destined for you, but only if you're willing to commit to it, okay? You can't talk about it sometimes and not show up for it. You can't talk about it and compare yourself and feel like you heard God wrong. You got to understand that your vision, that thing that was dropped in your spirit, is for you to bring to fruition, okay? One thing that I am extremely passionate about is providing coaches with the tools that they need to succeed, to build a profitable and impactful business. And the reason that I'm so passionate about this is because I shared with you guys earlier on in my business, I was that person that had my hand in this pot and had my hand in this pot, and I saw what this guru was doing and I felt like I should do this, and I saw what this guru was doing and I felt like I should do this, and I never really solidified my message. I never really solidified my unique spin, my authentic self. And I tell people all the time, my clients specifically, your authenticity is your greatest asset. And the moment you're trying to match and blend with somebody else is the moment you're going to miss the mark, okay? The moment you're going to lose people that are drawn to your energy, that are drawn to your story, that are drawn to your vision, and that are supposed to be with you on that next level. You don't want to miss that, okay? So one thing that I'm really passionate about, again, is building that foundation where coaches can be impactful and profitable. But in order to be able to do that effectively, you got to have a system and you got to have a strategy. And more importantly, it has to align with your vision and who you truly are. So on April 5th, which I'm so excited about, I am going to be teaching a totally free masterclass, all right? And in this masterclass, it's called 6 Steps to Strategic Sales. But in this masterclass, I teach you the tools that you need to build a strategy that allows you to be profitable and impactful. We talk about creating content that converts, right? So that the content creation process isn't something that you're launching to crickets. We talk about ways to magnetize and draw and attract your audience to you, having a unique selling point, understanding your authenticity, and embracing it as your greatest asset. We talk about strategic sales and selling from the soul, all right? I don't know why I keep stuttering over strategic, but strategic sales and selling from the soul. Because if you're anything like me, you deal with a lot of fear around selling or a lot of guilt around selling. I felt like Matilda's little raggedy dad that was rolling the miles back on cars and trying to sell people used cars. That's not, that's not where it's at. That's not what selling is. In the same way that you would go, tell your friend about an amazing book that you just read, is the same way that you should be willing to sell your services, especially if you know it's of a service, if you know it's of a value, if you know it's of value to give to other people. And that's what we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about breaking down those barriers and those limiting beliefs that are preventing you from showing up the way that you're called to show up. And we're going to talk about how to build yourself up to build that foundation to make your business both impactful and profitable, okay? And the reason that I'm sharing this with you today is because I know many of you feel like you have to follow exactly what this guru says or exactly what this person says, or you got to do it in this exact order. Your funnel has to be made like this. Your sales call needs to be scripted like this. You feel this tug or this desire to follow exactly what these people are saying. But what if I told you that you can create your own system that aligns authentically with who you are and still have an impact and increase your income? That's exactly what I'm going to show you how to do inside of this free masterclass. So trust me when I say you do not want to miss this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try to put see if I have it here. I do not. So what I'll do is I'm going to put the link in the comments. I am also going to tell you to check out the first button in my bio, all right? In the first button in my bio, you'll be able to access the sign-up page where you can sign up. Sorry, you can hear like my kids outside. It's so nice. Nice outside. But you can access the sign-up page and you'll be able to sign up right away. You'll get all the information about where to join us. And please share this if you know someone that can be blessed by it. You know someone who is an aspiring or an established coach that needs the tools to build a profitable and impactful business. They need to be there too. And the great part is I want every freaking person to win. So I'm making it a no-brainer that you get to take this next step because the tools that I'm going to teach you are going to help you to be able to step into that next level. So I type that in, check out that link, check out the first button in my bio. Join us, make sure you join us, and trust me when I say that your future self is going to be so freaking grateful that you did. So I look forward to seeing you there, and yeah, I'll check in and chat with you guys later. Bye.